that they're without green shields at fullback, Catalan. Cyril Stackle, it's over 12 months since he played in that position. No doubt in my mind, Mike Rush, the St. Helens coach, will ensure that Mr. Stackle will get plenty of work to do with the high bombs in the opening 10-15 minutes. But I am just waiting for this game to explode. It was fantastic at St. Helens, remember, okay? That conversion by Scott Deroe, it was thrilling, and I don't think they're going to let us down tonight, these two sides.
No, I doubt it. The Catalan Dragons on course to emulate their best ever finish in Super League, third in 2008. Ben Thaler looks like he might have been taking a bit of the midday sun in here today. It's been absolutely glorious, upper 30s, but as we approach the kickoff here, the temperature has dropped. That's perfect because, of course, it's nudging 9 o'clock local time, and there's a lovely little breeze blowing round as well. Johnny Lomax gets this game underway. Well, this is one of the matches that we've been waiting for, the return, since the match in February, and that's the reason why. A tremendous run from Casti, and they get the first penalty because there's interference at the play the ball by Josh Perry.
Yeah, but you could see straight away John Wilkin, the loose forward for St. Helens, he's going to set the scene. Perry gave away the silly penalty, but this is going to be one rough, tough outfit. They've got to get over it. They really will put a lot of muscle against each other.
Of course, they both had a couple of weeks off while the Challenge Cup semi-finals were sorted out. Last time, Widnes, they took St. Helens all the way, and of course the Catalan Dragons took part in a real bruiser at Warrington, but they lost on that occasion. Here's Casti again, finds Giroud, finds Price, the ball goes wide, and this now is Sebastian Ragan, and St. Helens having to muscle up in defence pretty early on.
Good work by Michael Shenton. It needs to be as well. My mind goes back to that game at St. Helens when it looks like the Saints had it in the bag, and it was the old stager Steve Menzies that really ripped them apart down there. Left-hand side defence, but a great chance now for Catalan.
Very good tackle up by Lance O'Hire on Vincent Duport. Brought him down. It's Damien Blanche, the dummy half. He floats the pass to Deroe. He will kick it wide, looking for the big men in the middle. Up they go. That's knocked down, and it's a knock-on. It's no try, even though Ian Henderson was claiming it.
Well, Eddie, if that's the first set of 6 of the game, and if that's going to dictate the terms and the tempo and intensity we're going to see, we're in for a great game. It's a typical start from the Catalan Dragons. They just play one side, they wear a team over, then they push people forward, get quick play of the ball, and they give Giroud and Price some space, and they generally finish well with a kick like that. They were just a fraction unlucky, weren't they, not to come up with something.
St. Helens then with first use of the football now, watched on by the interim coach Mike Rush. I bet his family were thrilled this week when they heard that Nathan Brown had walked through the door at Huddersfield. I bet they believed they were on their way for a summer holiday, but Mike Rush staying on, of course, till the end of the season. That was decided a long time ago, and Nathan Brown recharging his batteries, getting ready for the big challenge that lies ahead for him in 2013. So, unfortunately for the Rush family, it's business as usual. Well, and they'll have to win here tonight to send Mike Rush home happy.
It looked a high shot from Josh Perry there. He's putting himself about. This is going to be a rough one down the middle. We know that both sides capable of scoring long tries from deep within their own quarter. So exciting, but as you can see, the forwards are really getting into each other.
Lepeni Payer, that was touched, that's a knock-on. And the referee has a look at the touch judge on this near side. Pulatua got a hand to it, he dropped on the ball as well. It was knocked down here, you'll see it quite clearly as Henderson got the pass away. It's head and feed at the scrum to the Catalan Dragons.
And a good combination there, the official, Trent Robinson just looking over, he'll be quite happy with that, but the official Ben Thaler looked to his touch judge, got the nod. Good to see them working hard together.
It's a good skill, that. Just Tony Puller didn't quite get it right. What he was trying to do was knock the hand and knock the arm of Ian Henderson, and therefore St. Helens would have ended up with the feed.
Not a case there for a deliberate knock-on and therefore a penalty?
Well, possibly, but they haven't given that, have they?
No, they haven't. But here are the Catalan Dragons on the attack. Casti goes down, and there are another heavy challenge from Josh Perry. And also Chris Flannery. It's a solid run here from Price. He offloads the ball to Henderson. Henderson brings it back to Lepeni Payer. He'll attack them once again. There could have been element of obstruction there, but Battieri stopped the run. They're 5 metres away here, the Catalan Dragons. It's Ian Henderson with the luminous green boots, Giroud with a little flick forward, and it's another knock on here. It's another head and feed to the Catalan Dragons. There's immense pressure on the Saints line.
Yeah, didn't get the kick away as you liked it, Scott Giroud, but they got the ricochet, and that means they've got another set of 6. Don't be surprised if they do a smart move on the short blind side.
If you want to win in France, you need certainly more than 50% of the ball. At the moment, it's been entirely with the Dragons and the dangerous from scrums, but good test for Saints with the early defence. When they do get possession, though, it's important if they don't concede here now. They respect it very well.
It was Millard there who played the ball, and this is Stakul. Hasn't played full back, although he's chiming into the attack here. Hasn't played full back for 12 months. Giroud in great form. So too Price. Menzies. Ball finds the ground. Doesn't find Damien Blanche.
It was such. It's another head and feed to the home side, Catalan.
Touched again by St Helens. Didn't you see this? Ben Thaler did.
Yep. Well, the touch judge helped him again. You can see there that Francis Melly just get fingertips to it. This. Just enough. Boy, good eyes, touch judge. Well done. But what about the pressure?
That's a tough call, isn't it, on St Helens?
It's fantastic, guys.
Didn't look anything wrong with that, but here comes St Helens in defence again, and the Catalan Dragons in attack, and it's the first try. Is it? The referee will hand this upstairs. There was a collision with the posts. It's a question of whether the grounding is A-OK. And it's Vincent Dupont. Does he get the ball down?
I think he does.
Yes, he does.
That is a great effort. Look at the head. It's into the post. Good positioning there by the referee, Ben Thaler. But he did the right thing. Just make sure that he got it down. There's no doubt in my mind.
Good call from the referee here, actually, to hand this upstairs.
Yeah. Well, he was in a good position, as you can see there on the replay.
Well, and also Ben was in the middle of some controversy during the semi-final last week. And he's got a good position there, but at full speed, that could have looked as though the ball had come out. Fair play to Ben Thaler, the referee.
And he's done the right thing.
The try is given by tonight's video referee, Ian Smith. So Vincent Dupont, after all that pressure from the Catalan Dragons, gets try number 12 of this season for him. They have been scoring for fun, these players. Blanche with 10, Price with 8. Giroud's got 10. And now Dupont has come up with try number 12.
Now, this is the incident where they said they touch it, and he just touches it, doesn't he, Francis Melly?
It was a brush.
It doesn't matter. They got it right, and that's what I like to see from the officials. But the straight running back on the inside, that is poor defence. Take nothing away from Dupont. He's under a lot of pressure, especially from the pads around the post. Oh, his head just goes crash.
And Giroud has added the extras. I don't think St Helens have had the ball in their hand much yet.
Well, they kicked off and started the march, and they might be hoping that they don't kick the ball to Remy Casti again, because I believe that this try, all started, here's the hand that just touches the ball, glances on it. I don't think there's any doubt about that. But the kick-off which went to Remy Casti set the tone for me. It was an aggressive first run of possession, and then it was followed up with some aggression here by Dupont, who went over for that first score.
Yeah, I think, Eddie, St Helens have only had the ball for one set of 6. I think Johnny Lomax kicked on about tackle number 4. It was an attempt at a 40-20, really, but Cyril Stakul was able to return the ball to about the 35-metre line. So, really, Catalans at the moment have not had to come off their line apart from this kick-off, because in the first kick-off of the game, they got a penalty on tackle number 1, so they've not been under any pressure whatsoever.
But they are fired up. These forwards, Catalan forwards, they know it's important. They know they've got 2 good half-backs that can control the game, but they've got to have that fire in the belly in the forwards, and they're certainly showing that at the moment.
Well, they played Hull FC, of course, last week. They won. They're playing here tonight at home against St Helens, so no problems in terms of travel. This is Ian Henderson, and I think and that's a penalty. That's a penalty. Ohio was all over the top of Ian Henderson as he tried to get a quick play the ball away.
Well, St Helens' defence is all over the shop. He's such a good master, isn't he? Running from dummy half, Ian Henderson. Remember, midway through this season, he absolutely just ripped Warrington apart. It looks as though he's going to do exactly the same, but I just get the feeling that number 3, Leon Price, is really up for this.
It's St Helens here tonight. It was Hull here last week. It's London here next week. It's 3 home games in a row for the Catalan Dragons. They are trying to make hay while the sun shines down here on the Mediterranean. Here's the try scorer, Duport again. Halted just 5-6 metres away from the line. Leon Price looks very busy tonight. He looks up for this. Now it's the Pini Pyre again, trying to take that ball forward. Henderson, once again, in a dummy half. Thought about coming down the short side. Goes into the centre field, finds Duro. Duro into Stackel. That was high. Penalty here again for the Catalan Dragons.
Well, he's been swinging the arm quite a lot, hasn't he, Josh Perry? And there's no excuse for that. It may have been desperation to get through because the step from the fullback, Cyril Stackel, was good. And not surprisingly, Ben Thaler has a little bit of a word in his ear.
Just wondering go for 2 points here.
Yeah, just wondering whether Josh Perry was impeded in some way. There may be a question mark on an obstruction, and that perhaps gave a reaction. You don't, for one moment, condone the high tackle, but just wondering whether it was reactive to something where he had to do something very, very late.
Well, the St Helens players, Flannery and Wellens, the skipper, having a debate with the referee, but he was in. I mean, he had no option here, really. It was just a lazy arm that came across over the top of the shoulders, wasn't it? Well,
I think he realised that he was going to be penalised, tried to kid the official. Ben Thaler had none of it.
And do you think there's relief amongst the St Helens players here, Steve-O? You know, 5 times as much defending we've had in the first 10 minutes, 2 points rather than 6.
Yeah, it was an option perhaps that Trent Robinson would have got the message out. Maybe we can apply the pressure, but when you've got such a kicker like this fella, you take the 2 on offer, and it's all a matter of whether Saints can get back into this game. Can they get the football?
Each player has a different responsibility in a game, and the big fellas like Remy Castille have to set the tone. They've set it here from the start of the match. Look at his aggression there to run over the top of John Wilkin. They got the penalty, and the whole momentum of the first 10 minutes, for me, was set from that first play.
Yeah, what they're very good at, Phil, is they're very good at finding the floor, playing the ball quick, and then Ian Henderson takes an option. And they often play short side to Menzies, and he skips along, and he seems to get through, and he plays the ball quick, and they play off that. So you either march down the field and get yourself in great position to kick off the front foot, or you end up with a penalty, which is what's happened on 2 sets so far.
Saints restart with the kick-off from Lomax. They travelled here full of hope, on a mission. They won't have forgotten what happened in the last meeting, losing 32-34 to the Dragons at Langtree Park in February. An incredible game, turned on its head in a frantic last minute. Daryl Millard's try, Scott Giroux's match-winning kick off the touchline. 26-8 up, 22 minutes to go in February. They conceded 5 tries and they lost the game. They've conceded 1 try here already tonight in the opening 11 minutes. They've conceded a couple of kicks as well, 1 a conversion, 1 the penalty, and they are trailing here 8-0. The Catalan Dragons with their noses in front, and Price gets the ball in centre field to that man Casti again. Bradford, beleaguered Bradford, 6 up at Cup finalist Leeds. Giroux was taken late by Shenton.
Certainly was. Touch judges had not run on, and there's a bit of afterplay there. Crowd don't like it. Obviously Michael Shenton got the shoulder into him, but he committed himself.
Well, touch judges didn't give Ben Thaler any help then. If it was deemed to be late, maybe Shenton got there as quickly as he could. Here is Roby. And of course they don't have the benefit that we have in the Super League in the UK of a big screen down here in the south of France, but we can watch every second, every challenge. Of course there is a video referee, of course, that's Ian Smith, but the crowd not happy with what they saw there as the challenge came in just a touch late from Michael Shenton.
It's important St Helens really just keep hold of this ball, don't try to score on every play, just try to get good field position. They're over the opposition half now, and should be a good kick. Wilkin has gone high, it's going to bounce.
High and diagonal, it's a horrible bounce, and Lomax was after it, but it was dealt with in the end by Daryl Millard. There's a good crowd in here tonight. It's a Friday night in high summer. The Catalan Dragon supporters have come out in force. There's plenty of St Helens colours in the stand as well, enjoying their midsummer break down here in Perpignan, enjoying the Canet Plage beaches
Move! Chris, hold this line. Ready.
The Van Rouge that Steve-O is an expert on, of course. But not on a working day, but he will be over the weekend. You've brought your flip-flops and your shorts, I understand.
Yep.
Staying for a day or two.
Yep.
And of course, then he will be returning home for the whole derby on Monday, our next offering from the Super League Monday stable. That's a horrible bounce.
Wonderful kick, wasn't it, from Leon Price? And
a
look who was
great
there.
chase by Price as Makinson tried to make progress downfield.
Well, we made it quite clear, Eddie, both you and I, that we said that Leon Price to stand off. He looks busy, he wants to get in. If there's anything that's been negative over Leon Price over the many years, is that sometimes he doesn't give 100% all the time, but he wants to make an impact on this game, that's for sure.
Yes, and when you remember the match in February that we saw, he just imposed himself a few times in that last 20 minutes or so, turned the game on its head for the Catalan Dragons, and I must say the Dragons look really up for this. Oh, Lance O'Hire has pinched a penalty here.
Well, the big thing about that game back in February was that all of the possession in that final quarter was almost exclusively with Catalan, and it's been almost exclusively with them in the start of this match. But we always know, if you're watching enough rugby league, that this is going to swing. And now on the 5th tackle penalty, St Helens get their first chance with the ball in their opponent's half the field.
That was crafty play by Lance O'Hire. He went in towards the body of Vincent Duport, and he forced the referee to give the penalty. 14.5 minutes gone. St Helens with the first chance then to attack this Catalan Dragons line. Here comes Josh Perry again. Takes 3 to bring Josh Perry down. Roby waits at dummy half, gets it away to Lomax. Lomax will straighten up for Saints.
Good run, but good defence as well. They realise the importance of trying to keep a good hold on Lomax.
They're in the danger zone.
Oh,
Brilliant try as he stepped through the defence there. The man who got the penalty from Ben Taylor, and he makes the Catalan Dragons pay. A lovely use of the feet there from Lance O'Hire, danced through the defence, underneath the sticks. Lance O'Hire comes up with a try. He has flattered to deceive at times this year as the New Zealand international, yet he's been brilliant in 2 wins against Leeds in 2012, and that was a piece of sheer class. The Saints are on the board, they're back in the match.
Yeah, great balance by the standoff, Lance O'Hire. This is the penalty, and O'Hire used all his experience there. They didn't like it, especially Leon Price, but it got them into a good position for the very first time. That's poor defence. He threw the dummy. They really should have muscled up there. They failed to do that. Steve Menzies just went a little bit too early. Threw the dummy, took it.
And Makinson takes the other 2 points on offer, and the Saints are back in the hunt. Vital try for Saints. This will settle them down. 8-6 the Dragons.
Good balance there, but as you can see, he took on Remy Casti and Steve Menzies, and Mike Rush will be happy with that.
Leading a standing ovation, and his supporters behind the sticks away to our left-hand side, they were up on their feet as well. Nice moment that for Lance O'Hire. He played alongside the legendary Stacey Jones, of course, for the New Zealand Warriors once upon a time, and Stacey Jones, used the word legend. He is a legend in this part of the world.
Yeah, and I think that example of what's happened with that try just shows you how small the margins are in rugby league, because Catalans had actually played a perfect game up until then. It'd be very famous. I think once they kicked the ball dead, and that gave away a 20-metre restart, but that penalty just gave St Helens an opportunity, gave them some field position, and Catalans probably will be tested more than that on their line tonight, and they've got to come up with better options than that. They were far too wide, made it too easy for Lance O'Hire.
It's a good kick down the line from O'Hire, and it had to be taken that by Cyril Stackpool. It was.
Good work though by Chris Flannery. Made sure that there's no great progress forward. Boy, they're really getting into each other. It's still a bit humid out there,
but there is this nice little breeze, this cooling breeze that is blowing around the stadium here tonight. Busy day in the transfer market today, by the way, back home. Some deals have been completed. They had to be registered, these deals, before 2 o'clock today in the UK to allow the players who have moved to play till the end of the season. Lee Smith has gone from Leeds to Wakefield. Jordan Tansey has gone to Castleford immediately, and Brett Ferris has left Castleford for Huddersfield. All those with immediate effect. But no news, and so therefore no move for Rangi Chase, who was allegedly being pursued, being chased by Hull FC. Sean, anything you can enlighten us with?
Well, we just couldn't get it across the line, Eddie. Most of the speculation is true, that there was some dialogue between Castleford and Hull FC, and certainly Peter Gender would like Rangi at the club, but it just wasn't possible to do before the deadline, so we haven't given up on it. It's just something that won't happen this year now.
Interesting. It looks like Rangi Chase and Castleford are a finished article at the end of 2012. We shall see. And of course, Rangi won't be playing in this. Hull KR against Hull FC on Monday at 7:30. Sky Sports 2 HD and in Sky Sports 3D. But Steve-O will have his say on that, no doubt, in Super League back chat on Tuesday night at 10 o'clock on Sky Sports 3 HD. I mean, not only about the derby, but also about the Rangi Chase situation.
Well, plenty of talk here as well, because Damien Blanche, well, he thinks that he's been badly done to. Lance O'Hare all over the top of him, and when he pushes him away, Ben Thaler says, well, you can't take control. But I mean, he never makes any movement to get out of the play-the-ball arena. And it's not surprising that Damien Blanche is confused. Lance O'Hare, underneath that phased look, will be very, very pleased indeed.
Crowd here are not slow to make their feelings known to the referees.
It's appeared to me a very fast play of the ball for both sides, hasn't it? And we'll probably get a lot of points maybe as a result, but it's very quick tempo of the game. There isn't any holding down. Everyone seems to be getting up quickly, and the ball's back in play fast.
This is Anthony LaFranchi. He'll get up to his feet. He'll play the ball to Roby. Perry will have a drive to the line. And it took 3 to bring Josh Perry down. Roby is hunting something here. He goes underneath the sticks. It's off the knees of Wilkin. It's a knock-on, but by who? First one, I think.
John Wilkin's right hand, Eddie.
Is it? Yes, it's head and feet to the Catalan Dragons.
Yeah, it wasn't the best pass, was it? He was dipping all the time. There was,
Thought it might have come off Wilkin's ankle here.
But you can see that he lost control of it, did James Roby. Very rare you see that.
Oh, definitely off the hand. Good decision.
Well, it was a poor pass, and the option wasn't really on. They needed to play behind John Wilkin there, and I think they would have found some space out the back, and they would have threatened Catalan's line. But that's, again, they've shown how dangerous they'll be, St Helens. So they get into that territory. I think that's where Catalans, I think most teams can be tested on their line, but I still think Catalans are a side that have got some improvement to do against the very, very good sides.
Well, the Saints are certainly in the match, though, now, aren't they?
Yeah, they certainly have, and it's taken a while, and their composure has been good. They were giving away silly penalties early in the piece, and they've realised they can't afford to do that.
Well, they've won the last 3 visits here, and 4 of the 7 visits since 2006. It's a happy hunting ground for them. Duport takes that in brilliantly, one-handed. Lance O'Hare hangs on to his ankles. Francis Melly finishes off the job, and then he's dragged off the grounded Duport. Here is Leon Price off the outside of the boot, on the ground just in front of Tommy Makinson.
Good position as well by young Makinson. Anticipated that the kick was going to come through. I thought that Leon Price was looking to someone to come on the angle. It's been a feature of the Catalan side in this game.
Well, Leon Price has, of course, kicked the door down at Old Trafford on Grand Final night many, many times in the past. He would love to be there this year with the Catalan Dragons. And if they win here tonight, and remember they have bottom of the table London on this ground next weekend, well, it just could be that the dream will be alive for the Catalan Dragons. But there's a long way to go in this. There's a long way to go yet before the end of the season.
Yeah, you're right there, and never, ever write off St Helens. As you say, they've got so much pedigree in the grand final. And I'm not so sure that that was the kick that he wanted. Well, we went on that blind side, but we would have wanted a little bit more distance. But it's just calming things down a little bit. It was defence, 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 wasn't it? Opening 10 minutes.
Well, I think, Steve-O, when you've got a side backpedaling, and St Helens have got Catalans now backpedaling, you just saw that last offensive set, they didn't quite have the same tempo or intensity. When you've got to defend a couple of sets, you actually want to keep the ball in play. So that kick, even though it's actually stopped, you know, it's taken time off and given both sides a rest, I think St Helens would actually be a little disappointed there, because I think they could feel that the Catalans are under a little bit of pressure, and they might have been able to force an error.
The Catalan Dragons unbeaten on this ground in Super League. Their only home reverse came on the road in Montpellier against Wigan on June the 9th, 1436. Their only home defeat prior to that, and that was on this ground, was against Warrington in the Challenge Cup in May. But in Super League, they've been pretty impressive here. With offloads like that from Menzies, who found Henderson, who found Giroud, who gave it to Price, who gets it away to Raga, and Shenton does well in defence to bring the big fella down.
Good quick hands as well by Catalan. You could see there that Chris Flannery, the second row, and he's got it.
Well, the referee, Ben Thaler, screamed at Michael Shenton to stay out of the tackle because he wasn't standing square. There you can see.
Yeah,
stay out, he said. He couldn't help himself. No, and Price heard the call as well, ran straight back at him.
Yeah, just took a step, didn't he? And that was a real giveaway.
Good work that by Leon Price. Heard the call from the referee, ran straight at Michael Shenton. Here's Giroud. Back it goes to Stackhoul, but that's a penalty to St Helens for obstruction.
Yeah, they utilised the dummy runner a little bit too fancy there.
If there's foul play committed on them, even those obstructions.
Watch him come through, and as soon as he gets involved, experience there from John Wilkin. Watch Wilkin make sure that he makes contact.
At the start of the show, Eddie, we spoke about the role that Cyril Stackhoul would play as against Clint Greenshields. I'm not sure Clint Greenshields would run that same hole that Cyril Stackhoul did. And that's the sort of thing I was talking about, is it changes the dynamics of the way they attack. And it changes the smartness at the back. And yet Cyril Stackhoul, of course, is an experienced player, but he hasn't played enough at fullback.
Well, he hasn't played enough at fullback for the Catalan Dragons, but he's played 4 times for his country, for the French, at fullback. And the referee wants a word here with Francis Melly. 4 times at fullback for France in that time.
That's not enough.
The last 12 months.
That's not enough.
Penalty here to the Catalan Dragons. He's had a word with Melly about something, or pushing Giroud off the ball.
I don't know why I did that, anyway.
Well, I think that might be a little bit harsh as well. It's, you know, he was running through on the contact. The other way. Confident blow of the whistle by Ben Thaler.
Here's Giroud. Gets the short ball away, but Thierry.
Interesting tactics by Catalan. You know, Trent Robinson, their coach, normally you'd have Scott Giroud controlling things, first receiver, but they're utilising Leon Price a lot more in that position and pushing Scott Giroud out wide.
I think the Catalan Dragons are a real chance of getting to Old Trafford this year, but logistically it could be a nightmare for their supporters to make sure they're in Manchester for the big night. They'll only have a week at most to plan their trip. It's a bit different from just picking up a ticket and heading off down the motorway as the fans do back home. They've got flights and all sorts of things to sort out, but it's a massive event. They might already be booking their places. They might be that confident. Playing like this, why wouldn't you be? Ragan just gets his arms clear, finds Leon Price from the dummy half. That was good work, and again good work from Giroud. Wide they come. Here is Damien Blanche. Forward pass. Forward pass, the referee says. Blanche furious. Big call this from Ben Thaler. Big call.
Well, it was confident early in the piece, and he certainly won this one. This is what makes this Catalan side so exciting. I can't see.
Judge's call, I think.
Yeah, but I can't see anything wrong with that, Eddie.
Well, the touch judge is in a better position than us, though, isn't he? He stood directly in line with that. You've got to back his judgment on that one.
Yeah, you have. But from our angle, which proves again why they don't go for forward passes on video referee decisions, it looked okay. But at ground level, it must have looked forward. This is Lafranchi again. Try against Catalan in that defeat in February. Also against Hull Kingston Rovers last month, recently. And Trent Robinson, the reigning coach of the year, watching on as Soliola takes this ball forward.
Good drive as well. This will control it.
High kick, spiralling kick, difficult to take, well taken by Darryl Millard.
Well, we anticipated that they would give a lot of work for the fullback, Cyril Stackhoul, but really never got anywhere near the fullback. Got the height, didn't get the length.
With a good contest involving the Catalan Dragons. Last time we saw them, of course, a week last Monday at Warrington. It was a cracker of a game. Warrington won that, a real physical battle. Looks like we might have same again here. Nothing to choose between the two sides. As Duro gets his hands on the ball again. Soliolo with the collision against Muniz. Muniz, though, keeps it moving to Duro. They go wide and find Ragan. Ragan then goes wider still and finds Millard, who jinks inside a couple. That's the last tackle here for the Catalan Dragons. Duro's kick now, high, an angle.
Oh, will it bounce?
Out on the fall.
No, it isn't. It's still going.
Well, Catalan Dragons gave that away, and I think I did as well. It looked as though it was sailing out, and the referee wants the video referee, that is, to have a look and check that this didn't go out on the fall.
It didn't.
You've got to have a look at it and stop it on the line or just before it, haven't you?
That's fine. Nothing wrong with that at all, but it just shows you what a rugby league ball can do.
Tackle one, wait there, Free.
I don't think it touches the whitewash here.
Wait there, boys.
All the players thought it was well and truly over. I think it's play on.
Tackle one.
So they'll just play the ball where they're in.
Millimetres, that's all.
Move. Go.
Got an early call in his ear, did Ben Taylor, says play on, here we go again. So St Helens here on their third tackle. Widnes are ahead at Salford. 6-0 here, 8-6 to the Catalan Dragons. Shenton halted by good tackling on that far side. He's pretty impressive, Damien Cardass, for a youngster, only 18 years of age. He's only featured in one of the last 7.
There's a few of these tackles, though, getting very close to the mark.
Kick left-footed from Wilkin.
Good position there by Stackle.
Straight into his arms, the fullback. Not missing green shields as yet.
No, not in that department, Eddie. I think Cyril Stakul has positioned himself well. He returns the ball strongly. That would never have been my concern about him. My concern, as we see an error there, a rare error from Catalan Dragons. My concern on Cyril Stakul is at the other end of the field when they're running their attacking options.
Here's a mistake from Vincent Duport. Pressure on him. Good pressure as well applied by... Well, not really, actually. I thought that O'Hire was putting pressure on him in his face, but he actually had his back to Vincent Duport.
No, just a bit misunderstanding between Duport and Scott Duro.
Unforced error.
Yeah, well, the thing is about this Catalan outfit, they're quite open about it, that they'll attack from deep within their own quarter.
Crowd on the back of Ben Taylor again. They believe there was a knock on there. I don't think there was. This is Josh Jones. He had his debut in March. Did Josh Jones. He's made a real impact on the Super League and on the Challenge Cup. 11 tries from 12 appearances underlines that young man's promise. Here is Big Sia Soliola, 12 metres away from the line, coming up to the half-hour mark. And it is Lomax who dropped the shoulder, gave it to O'Hire, he danced around one, he gets it wide to Melly, and Saints are in again. And the try is given. Crowd here believe that might have been a forward pass to Francis Melly. But Francis Melly, he's now on 99 tries in the Super League. The New Zealand international, the Samoan international, the man who played for the Exiles 3 times and got 3 tries and 2 against England for the Exiles this year, has come up with the goods again. There's the mistake from Duport.
Yeah, as I said, a misunderstanding between the halfback Scott Duro and Duport. Got themselves in a little bit of a pickle. If you're going to come out of the line like that, you know your sliding defence is going to get beaten, and Melly was too quick. You really need to be man-on-man marking when you're pretty close to your own line. And you can see there that Blanche had gone in. He couldn't get back in time. It was a good long pass from Lance O'Hire. But it's got to be man-on-man marking, which wasn't. And a Catalan player came out of the line on the angle, missed O'Hire, and it was inevitable that it was going to be an opportunity to score the try.
Massive question mark, though, about the final pass.
It was moving, wasn't it?
Drifting forward from the hands of Lance O'Hire. Tommy Makinson from the touchline. Can he do a Scott Duro? No. Remember Duro kicking off the touchline, similar situation to that in February. But he misses Makinson, but Saints have the lead.
And I think well deserved. A very convincing attack. You know, 9 of the 13 St Helens players were involved in that play, and then you're reliant, aren't you, on the man with the ball, Lance O'Hire, making the right decision to find the best player, the best option. And he did. Of the 9 players available, he found the one in space and the one who could score the try.
Oh, this is out on the fall. This is out on the fall from the kickoff by Giroud. And that's a big mistake.
Certainly
Saints 8-0 down, and they've scored 10 points without reply.
Amazing, isn't it? You'd expect this from the visiting side, but not the home team. Plenty of opportunity to understand the length and breadth of this pitch.
There is a swirling wind, though, Steve-O. We mentioned it in the build-up to the game. It's got up in the last couple of hours.
If that's the case, then go for the post, Eddie. Don't run the risk of it going anywhere near the touchline.
Yeah, good point. That's Paul Clough. Here is Lomax. Saints looking busy now. Good ball from O'Hire to Soliola. And Roby scampering in at dummy half. O'Hire again. Brought to ground. Just short of the line. Now it's Roby. Finds Lomax. Little skip and a jump. And that's Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. Mike Rush making the changes here. Lomax again, stabs the kick in, Flannery's after it. Oh, that was an impressive flick of the wrist by Cyril Stacoul.
Was it ever? Beautiful option here. Look at that, Lomax, little dribble through. Knew that Chris Flannery was coming in on the angle, and the full-back Stacoul has saved the day. And you can hear the supporters from St Helens that in good voice, the Saints go marching in. Well, they nearly did. Only Cyril Stacoul denied that opportunity. But they're under pressure now.
They are goal line dropout here. 7 minutes from half-time. First goal line dropout of the match. Giroud with the kick. O'Hire underneath it. Clough is the runner.
One move! Keep it coming, come on, Greg!
Roby waits again. Finds Wilkin, finds Flannery.
Just come a little bit too flat there. Flannery could have been better served, a couple of yards behind.
Clough here again for the Saints.
Back here, come on!
Roby gives the ball to Louis McCarthy-Scarsbrook. He releases the pass backwards. Here is O'Hire. He releases it backwards to Flannery. Flannery to Jones. Running laterally now, has straightened it up. Menzies, the oldest man in Super League, gets one of the youngest to ground. Here is Roby. This is Wilkin. Now it's Clough. And Clough is over the line. And the Catalan Dragons haul him back. That's the last tackle for Saints. Saints want it down this left-hand side. Roby, though, is facing the other way. Slides the kick in. And well played again by Stacoul. He comes to the rescue once more.
All right, it wasn't the best kick, was it? But they realise that they've got this Catalan outfit well and truly on their own goal line. But this was great defence. They really were under pressure. It surprised me that Catalan, on those last 2 play the balls from Saints, they held back. They didn't move forward at all.
Big Jamal Fakir is out there. Gets to his feet. He plays the ball to Pellissier, and here is Henderson. Interesting that Trent Robinson keeping both Pellissier 16 and 9 Henderson on the field. Last one here, Giroud has to kick, and he kicks deep, maybe too deep. This will just bounce its way over the dead ball line. That was a nothing kick from Giroud.
Well, at least they can shape up on that 30-metre line.
Several of the kicks have been poor, aren't they? There was one from Leon Price that went directly to Tommy Makinson. The kickoff from the restart went over the sideline. 2 have gone over the dead ball line. I think by their own standards, that's pretty slack play.
Third in the table, Catalan Dragons are placing 2 points ahead of Saints with 7 rounds left. Leeds 2 points behind the Saints. They're playing the Bradford Bulls now. And it's 6-all at Headingley. It's apparently Widnes who are leading at Salford. 12-0 for Widnes. This is Lomax.
Great step. Good job that Leon Price. He was in a dummy situation there. Just picked it up. You get the feeling now that Saints are controlling this match.
Nice kick from O'Hare to the danger zone. Very well claimed again. Could have had a penalty there. Could easily have had a penalty. Soliola all over him. Here's Cardas. And Steckel's doing well.
Certainly is. They've
So
applied
far.
they've applied the pressure to him, and he's held his nerve.
You know, this Eddie Worth's good sides put an effort on an effort here now. Just before half-time, St Helens, with the defence, have tried to compress any metres that the Dragons have made here, hoping to get them to kick from deep and counter-attack here now, getting another score.
He's impressive, this young man. Pellissier, he gets the penalty as well because Jones is over the top of him. Wouldn't let him get to his feet.
That
Tough call this, but a correct call.
Yeah, just
late
had another
in the tackle count.
Yeah, had another go at him.
Well, you can't detach and then reattach to the re-engage with the player. But I tell you, that is a very fortuitous penalty for the Catalan Dragons. I've just been watching them and watching a lot of their players off the ball that you won't see on the screen, and they're just about gone. I tell you, they're in trouble defensively. They need the ball. They need to hang on to it. They need to get through to half-time.
Well, they've only got 3 minutes or thereabouts to get to half-time. That is Gregory Muniz, who's played in all of the last 6 as a substitute. He's back there. Oh, Fakir. That's a solid run.
Was it ever get out of the way job?
And John Wilkin gets up gamely. Baturi to Menzies. Jones does well. Finished off by Flannery. Here is Price. Price, great ball. Ragan, try for Catalan. Great ball from Leon Price. That was the money ball. Leon Price against his former club. Turned it back inside. And Sebastian Ragan. And Ragan getting a rare start here tonight. It is only his 3rd since March. He played last week against Hull in the centres against St Helens at Wembley in 2007 as well. Knows where the try line is, this fellow. This is a vital try for the Dragons just before half-time.
Certainly is. It's a real fillip for them as well. There's a penalty. Lack of composure by the Saints from the youngster Josh Jones. But the inside pass, they just hesitated. They were confused. They didn't know what Liam Price was going to do. You see how he drags them across, and it was enough. It was well finished. Yep, he enjoyed it, and rightly so. Vital time to score a try.
First try for Sebastian Ragan since round 1 at the Bradford Bulls. And what a moment to come up with it. And Paul Wellens, while we were watching the replay of that try, was giving his players the rounds of the kitchen. He was furious that they had conceded the penalty and therefore conceded the try.
And also Mike Rush, the Saints coach, wouldn't have been too happy with the fact that the lack of consultation with their players to not give away a penalty late in this first half. That composure, it just shows you. Give either of these sides an opportunity and they will take it.
Look at the confetti blowing around off the ground, and it's actually at the back of Scott Duro here. He'll try and drift it over the post, which he does as well. He judges it to perfection. Now that is a picture of hope actually for St Helens. That isn't the 14-10 scoreline, but that wind will be at the Saints' backs in the second half. Look at this from Price.
Tremendous. But a little bit slack on just getting their defence sorted out, and that's the reason why Paul Wellens was saying you should have been aware. And he's also not happy with the fact is that and that's what it means to Leon Price, who's had a tremendous first half.
He has, Leon Price, only 8 appearances for the Saints in his last 18 months with the St Helens club. This is his 23rd consecutive appearance down here in the south of France. That's an incredible statistic, isn't it?
Certainly is. It's sunshine, Eddie.
Well, that keeps the joints moving a little bit easier, does it? From the wind and rain of the northwest of England.
You'd have to imagine a change of attitude. Perhaps being around people like Steve Menzies has helped him to get more from himself, and they're not finished, are they, here?
They're not. They've just got 15 seconds remaining.
Got to get it in the air, get it in the air.
Maybe have time for just a kick, but Henderson running it at Soliola goes down. They will have this last tackle to come, and that was a little bit of risky stuff there. And going for a one-pointer, Giroud! I think he's kicked it. He has! Scott Giroud gets the one-pointer with the half-time siren sounding in the background. 15-10 at half-time. Giroud with the quick thinking and the lovely drop goal that was going nowhere other than straight between those posts. Well, they led 8-0, Saints came back, and it was 10-8 to Saints after half an hour, but right on the stroke of half-time, we've had the Ragan try, and we've had the Giroud drop goal and conversion. 15-10 to the Dragons.